A single AI, even a really powerful one, often hits a wall when you give it a truly complex task. But what if you could swap that one brilliant soloist for an entire orchestra of AIs, all working together? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. How to build and manage a coordinated AI team, otherwise known as a multi-agent system. This quote right here, it just nails the whole idea. Instead of asking one giant language model to do everything, research, write, and edit, you build a specialized crew. You have one agent that's a pro at finding information, another one that's an amazing writer, and a third one that comes in to polish and fact-check everything. It's all about breaking a big problem down into smaller, much more manageable jobs.
And there you have it, the official definition. A multi-agent system, or MAS for short, isn't just about having a bunch of AIs running at the same time. Nope. The real magic is in the coordination. These agents actually talk to each other, they pass work along, and they collaborate to hit a shared goal. Just like a real human team is supposed to.
Okay, let's really dig into this shift in thinking. We're moving away from the idea of a single genius AI that knows everything and toward a team of different talents where each specialist works together. And the reason this is so incredibly powerful is that specialization creates much, much higher quality work. Each agent can be fine-tuned for its one specific job, and that lets it achieve a level of detail that a generalist AI just can't match.
Now for the really fun part. Let's actually hire our AI crew. Building one of these systems feels a lot like putting together a new project team. You've got to figure out what key roles you need to get the job done right.
So when you boil it down, pretty much every AI team needs these three core roles. First up, you have the planner. This is your strategist. It looks at the big picture and breaks it down into a clear step-by-step plan. Then the executor gets to work, actually doing each of those tasks. And finally, and this is so important, the critic steps in. This agent is your quality control. It reviews the work and gives feedback to make sure the final result is absolutely top-notch.
So, you've hired your team of AI specialists. Fantastic. But how do you get them to actually work together smoothly without tripping all over each other? Well, you need a playbook, a clear set of rules and patterns that dictates how they collaborate.
And the secret sauce to making it all work, it's communication. The agents stay on the same page by passing messages back and forth, or by updating what's called a shared state. Just think of it like a shared project whiteboard that everyone on the team can see and edit. That way, everyone knows exactly what's been done and what they need to do next.
Now, this kind of communication makes a few key teamwork styles possible. The simplest one is called round robin. It works just like an assembly line, where the work gets passed from one agent to the next in a sequence. A more flexible approach is the manager-worker model. Here you have a central project manager agent that dishes out tasks to different worker agents as needed. And for really specialized jobs, there's the tool specialist pattern. This is where one agent can call on another tool agent to handle a very specific task, kind of like a carpenter reaching for exactly the right tool for the job.
Okay, let's be real. When you've got a team of powerful AIs working on their own, things could go off the rails. That's why setting up clear guardrails and a solid governance system isn't just a nice-to-have, it is absolutely essential for any serious project.
There are a few standard ways to keep these systems in check. You can set policies, which are basically the rules of the road, what the agents are allowed to do, and more importantly, what they're not. You can also build in approval steps, where a human has to give the green light before a critical action happens. And you can set resource limits, like time caps or a max number of steps, to make sure an agent doesn't get stuck in an endless, expensive loop.
All right, that's enough theory. Let's get to the good stuff. What can these AI teams actually do? Where are they making a real difference out in the wild today?
A really classic and super powerful example is a content creation pipeline. So imagine you need a high-quality, deeply researched report on a complex topic, and you need it done like yesterday. An AI team is absolutely perfect for this.
Here's how a team like that would work. You'd kick things off with a researcher agent that just scours the internet for all the relevant data and sources. It then hands everything it found over to a writer agent, which turns that research into a first draft. Finally, a reviewer agent, your critic, steps in to fact-check, edit for tone, and add that final layer of professional polish.
And this team-based approach isn't just for content, not at all. Think about a team of agents that can refactor a messy code base. One finds the problems, another writes the better code, and a third one runs all the tests. Or think about customer support, where one agent can sort through tickets and pass the really tricky ones to a more specialized agent. The possibilities here are just huge. Now, I know this all might sound incredibly complicated, but getting started is actually way more accessible than you might think. The key is just not to try and build some massive, world-changing system on day one. Honestly, the best advice is to start small. Your very first system should probably have just 2 or 3 agents, maybe a planner and an executor, or an executor and a critic. This lets you really understand how the agents work together and iron out the kinks before you try to scale up. And pro tip, adding that critic, that quality assurance agent, is often the single best move you can make to dramatically improve your results. So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. Take a look at the complex, multi-step tasks in your own work or your own projects. Which one of those is just waiting to be taken over by its very own super efficient team of AI agents?